This video is for all of you who want to start journaling, and for those of you who already journal and want to get inspired and get some new ideas on what to journal about. So if you're interested, continue watching this video. So I'm Laura, hi, I make videos about veganism, traveling, learning, and lifestyle design, and I hope you'll find this video inspirational, helpful, and that you'll discover something new. You can subscribe to my channel if you like the content that I'm making, if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram if you'd like to see more of my daily life. So here are my journals, and I'll start by saying that you don't have to keep as many, but this is who I am. I want to write things down. This is how I organize my thoughts, how I know what's going on in my life when I put things on paper, and I'll show you each and every one of them. So let's start with my morning journal. This is my morning journal, and it's my third morning journal, and this is Mimi and Alex Icon's idea. I guess they called it the 5-minute journal, and as the name suggests, I write things down in it every morning when I sit on my couch, I eat my breakfast, my cat is on my lap, and basically what I do is I have 4 sections that I fill in every morning, and these sections are what I'm grateful for that morning, and I always write down 4 things that I'm grateful for. The second section is what will make today great, and this is my intention for that day. What do I want to do to feel like this day was an accomplishment for me? So this is when I set my intention for that day. The third section is I am, and I write down 4 things that are true about myself, some qualities that I have or some qualities that I want to have. This is basically when I affirm myself that I am a good friend, I am a good listener. I always do that in the morning just to feel a bit better if I don't feel that good that morning. And the fourth section is my priority for that day. This is different from the second section because a priority sometimes is set by someone else, and sometimes I have to do something for work, or I have to do something that will really bring me joy but in the future, like a long-term goal, but may not necessarily make me as happy as something else. So sometimes as my intention I will set things like watching a movie or going for a walk or things like that, and my priorities might be work related, like assess some written assignments or respond to some emails or respond to some comments, and this is how it's different. So each and every morning I sit down with my morning journal and I fill each section in, and I do that just to refresh my brain and just to remember what I want to do that day, how I want to feel that day, and this is how I start every single day of my life now. And I highly recommend that you start doing it every morning. It only takes 5 minutes, but long term it provided me with so much more clarity, peace, and calm. And I have this sense of achievement every morning, even before I start my day, because I put down things that I'm grateful for, and this reminds me of the things that I accomplished, and it's a good way to start the day for me, and I highly recommend the morning journal if you're interested. The second journal that I keep is specifically the gratitude journal and also the success journal. And this is a journal in which I keep everything that I'm grateful for and every single one of my successes, whether it's a big one or a small one, I just write it down. And it's incredibly helpful if you struggle with self-esteem and happiness in your life, because gratitude helps you switch your mindset. It helps you to see things for what they are and for how good they are. Let's just say that you don't feel very happy today and you just, I don't know, got a bad grade or someone yelled at you, just anything that brought you down today. And if you open up a notepad on a clean blank page and you write 3 things down, things that you are grateful for, and these can be the most basic things, like I'm grateful for the fact that I'm sitting on my bed because I have a bed and it's very comfortable, or I'm very grateful for the fact that I ate good food today because it was very tasty and I have access to good fresh food. And the third thing could be I'm grateful for the fact that I have clothes on my body and they keep me warm. And once it stops feeling so artificial and forced, you will notice that actually there are so many more things that you are grateful for in your life, and suddenly all of those things that brought you down don't feel as saddening and infuriating anymore, because actually what matters is that you are happy with what you have and with who you have in your life. This is why I keep my gratitude journal, because even though I put things down every morning at the beginning of the day, I sometimes feel the need during the day just to put things down, more things that I'm grateful for, just to remind myself of how good my life is and how much there is that I can be grateful for. And the success journal works similarly, because I am a person who belittles my own achievements, and sometimes I accomplish so much in a day, but then there is one thing that I couldn't accomplish and I feel like I didn't do anything. Like, because I didn't do this one thing that only mattered, and I don't notice the fact that I actually did so much beyond what I actually set out for myself to do. And when I write down every single one of my successes, whether it's a big one or a small one, and it shows me that I actually did so much that I don't really have to bring myself down. And I highly recommend that if you struggle with noticing your own achievements and feeling like you don't do enough in your life, I highly recommend this one. The third journal is my visualization journal, and it's so much fun, but also it brought me such incredible results. Visualization is basically imagining your life and aspects of your life that you want to have, and visions of your future in every single area of your life. So for instance, if I want to move out and if I want to have my dream house, this is where I will describe my dream house. I'll just open my notepad and I'll write down every single feature of this house that I wanted to have, and everything that I do in this house, every single piece of decor that I have in this house, just everything in so much detail that when I'm writing it down, I can just imagine it in my head. Visualization is an extremely powerful tool, and I've been keeping this journal for the past 2 years, and there are visions for my life that came true. Not every single one of them, because sometimes I had a vision and then I dropped it, but those that I stuck with came true, and I am a huge believer in the law of attraction, the power of thought, because I'm a living and breathing example that it works. So if you're new to visualization or you don't believe in its power, visualization happens whether you believe in it or not, and you can control what you manifest in your life. But I highly recommend keeping a visualization journal, and in it I also put down my bucket list. And I have my bucket list there, and I tick off items from my bucket list, and this is basically my dream life journal, and it's been working wonders for me, and I hope that it will work wonders for you as well if you start keeping one, and if you really commit to your visions. I highly recommend it. The fourth one is very similar to the visualization journal, but it's very specific, and this is my career journal, and in it, I keep everything that I want to achieve in my life when it comes to my career. There are pages like planning my future career, and what steps do I have to take to achieve this goal? What am I good at? What am I not good at? What do I want to do in my job? Do I want to travel for my job? Do I want to talk to people in my job? Do I want to have a service-based job, or do I want to work for someone else? Do I want to be a solo entrepreneur? This is everything that I keep in this journal, and it keeps me focused because I'm a driven person, but I'm also so creative, and I have so many ideas about my life, about what I want to accomplish. So many ideas come flooding to me every single day, and if I wasn't keeping it in one place, I would be just feeling so exhausted and overwhelmed and distracted by everything all the time. And this is why I keep everything in journals, but specifically job related, like video ideas, I have to keep it somewhere, and all of that is here. So this is my career journal, and I recommend keeping a career journal or a studies journal or whatever you want journal when it comes to having so many ideas that you don't really know where to store them, or you keep forgetting them because you just don't write them down. Highly recommended as well. The fifth one is the money journal. You can see, by the way, that all of them have very similar covers, and I love them because they are very nice. I love them because they are very nice. This is the money journal, and as the name suggests, I do my money related inner work in that journal. And what I mean by that is that when I read You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, I knew that I had so many beliefs in my head about money that weren't true and that I needed to rework. For instance, I grew up with my mom saying, "Do I look like an ATM machine to you?" And because of her saying that, I was programmed in my head in a way that disabled me to see money as something that comes easily, like you always have to ask for it, or there is never enough money, and things like that. And when I was reading this book, I realized how much work I have to put into reworking my beliefs and my thoughts about money if I want to have a lot of money in the future, or if I just want to have money in my life that comes easily to me. And keeping that journal and working my way through that book and then working my way through other books helped me improve my financial situation so much. And now I put my money goals for a given month in that journal, and I highly recommend it because it's also something that helped me rework my brain. Just like with the gratitude journal, I see money differently now, and my life has improved because of that, and I know that it's really beneficial. So if you want to, I'll put a link down in the description box to Jen's book, and you can read it and you can start improving your financial situation, and you can keep your money journal to help you with that. So I highly recommend this one as well. Okay, the next one is my messy to-do list. And if you are a person who likes writing things down but doesn't want to have a mess in their beautiful notebooks and journals, hi, I'm this person, I would never be able to keep a bullet journal, simply because when you mess something up and you erase it, or if you do something that just doesn't belong on the page, you have to rip the page out. If you don't like to have a mess in your beautiful, well-kept journal, I highly recommend having a bullet journal that doesn't really look like a bullet journal, and keeping everything as messy as you want in that journal. And I really needed that, because the thought of messing up my journal gave me anxiety. And when I switched to having a messy journal where I was allowed to do whatever I wanted to, and that wasn't really as important to me and wasn't as pretty, but kept me going and kept me focused, that was a revelation to me. So this is my messy to-do list. I just put everything down there that I have to do, my monthly goals, my weekly goals, my everyday goals, and everything is messy, but I don't care, and I feel so happy and so relieved and so light that I can have something as messy as this. It keeps me in check. I do everything with this journal, and this is my go-to tool for organization. And I highly recommend keeping a to-do list journal, because in the past I used to keep everything on scraps of paper, like write things down here and there, and because everything was so disorganized and just a mess, my brain was a mess as well. And here, even though it's messy, it's here and it's organized and it's in one place. So I highly recommend keeping a journal like that if you're like me, if you get anxious very quickly, if you can't have everything in one place, and if it's not supposed to be messy but you want to keep it messy. Oh, that's such a good one. And the last journal that I keep is my happiness journal, and you probably saw it in my video on how I planned my year. And just very quickly, if you want to go back to this video, you can watch it and you can see how I plan my life there. But what I use it for daily is writing things down that made me happy that day. These can be small or big, but I just keep everything that happened to me that brought me joy on a given day. It helps me immensely when I don't feel like I had a good day, but still I know that probably there was something that happened to me that was good, that made me happy just a little bit. So I do this every day, every single day, just to remind myself of how good my life is and how happy I am. And also I've been keeping my happiness journals for I think 4 or 5 years now. And whenever I want to go back to a specific day just to see what I was doing on that day, or I don't know, what I was doing for my birthday, or what I was doing on October the 2nd, 2017, I can just open it on that page on that day and I can see exactly what I was doing, because mostly I just put down things that I was doing on that given day because they bring me joy. And that's so incredibly valuable to me. As you know, I'm very sentimental and I love being grateful and happy, and this is a happiness journal. So it just reminds me of how happy I am. And I think that everyone should keep a happiness journal in that form, or maybe just in a regular notebook. Writing things down that happened to you that day that brought you joy is so powerful long term. You have no idea. As I said in my video about 4 habits that will change your life, I'm so happy and positive and joyful because of keeping track of how happy I am. Sometimes it feels like a lot of work keeping everything in journals, and I don't write in every single journal every day, but whenever I do, I know that I'm taking care of myself, of my emotions, of my mind. It's something that everyone should do, this emotional hygiene, this taking care of yourself whenever you feel like you need to. Journaling is such an incredibly powerful tool, and I hope I helped you in some way and that this video gave you some inspiration. If you're looking where to start, if you're looking what to journal on, in the description box you will find some journal prompts, some questions that you can start answering right now, and some additional resources that you can start reading and using in order to improve your life and in order to really get into journaling if you'd like that. Please like this video, comment down below if it helped you in any way, and check out my other videos and playlists, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already and if you like the content that I'm making, and follow me on Instagram if you'd like to see more of my daily life, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Ciao!